So I just watched Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom. Now, this movie officially brings about the end of the DCEU, or as many of you would like to call, the Snyderverse. And with the ending of this does bring in the Gunverse moving forward. And I did my initial thoughts on James Gunn and his plans for DC a year ago so you could check that out. But let me get back to Aquaman 2. So I wasn't sure what I was gonna get out of this movie. I think, it was just the end. I think once James Gunn kind of announced his thoughts and ideas of what he wanted to have happen, every single DC movie was essentially dead after Black Adam. So that includes Shazam 2, Flash, Batgirl, Blue Beetle, Aquaman 2. I personally think all five of those should have gone straight to Max, but that could be a whole nother video on its own. Okay, so now actually back to Aquaman 2. So I think the movie did a really good job of setting up the motivations for Black Manta. Very interested in the character. The motivations of him seemed right, felt right. Aquaman himself, and I think that's a little bit of a struggle. I have always been indifferent when it comes to Jason Momoa's Aquaman. I think, it's cool that we have that character, and, they brought in some Polynesian aspects to Aquaman, which we've never really seen replicated anywhere else in media when it comes to the character. So those are really nice sentiments that they brought into the movie. The story itself, it was very much an adventure. We were traveling across, we were going to do all these things, we were solving the problems, we got to reconnect with some of the characters that we saw in the first one. I know a lot of people had some questions about Amber Heard. I enjoyed her performance in the first one. I think in this one, her scenes are very brief. I would say across the whole movie, there's maybe 25 minutes, if that, of her actually in it. And some of the scenes she didn't really say that much in there, but, we gotta love someone who could control water bending, for lack of a better term. But I thought she was great. Nicole Kidman, I think she had a lot less to do in this one, but it wasn't about her. And then obviously we got Ocean Master back. I liked seeing the dialogue between Ocean Master and Aquaman. I thought that was interesting, and it kind of makes me want to go back to see how their interactions were in the first one, because it has been a little bit of a while. Looking at Aquaman, though, I think some of the issues I have are some of the same issues that I had with Thor 3 Ragnarok, Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo. And we didn't get Hulk and Thor. This felt very much Jason Momoa to me, as opposed to Arthur Curry Aquaman. I think they kept playing the same kind of jokes, commentary, humor. Aquaman to me has never really been a funny character, and I feel like there hadn't really been that much growth that we've seen of him across the movies he's been a part of. Like, it's always just the funny guy. And I know there's rumors and talk, sorry for bringing up James Gunn again, but there's talk of him potentially being the new Lobo in the already packed Superman Legacy movie, or at some point. But there was a scene where Jason Momoa is riding a motorcycle, and for those of you who know about Lobo and his space motorcycle, I was kind of like, all right, we can see it. I can envision it now. Look at you on your motorcycle. But I think the movie itself it was a fine watch. Like I said, it's the conclusion of DC. It's over. We can move on. There is a mid-credit scene. I don't necessarily think it's important for you to stay, but if you enjoyed the end credit scenes for Shazam 1 and Shazam 2 that involved the bug, you will like this mid-credit scene. Let me know your thoughts on Aquaman. Were you going to watch it, or were you not going to bother at all because it's not continuing? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thanks so much for watching me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.